Well, it has a rainbow in it, but I'm not seeing much resort.
There's live music.
Somewhere over the Kirby level, there is
Somewhere over the exploded rainbow.
No gold for you.
Oh, for God's sake, this is the same level we just played. Why is this in another world?
Because
Transition, I don't know.
Because the first world was simply giving you a taste.
I always thought that it was just an example of the game trying to connect themes from world to world so that there was more continuity and stuff. So, I mean, I don't mind...
Because the transition from Orange Ocean to Crystal Man would have made more sense if it happened at the beginning of the next world rather than at the end of the one we were already in.
No, but what I'm saying is that in the end of Orange Ocean we have these sort of levels, and at the beginning of Rainbow Resort we have these levels, so there's sort of a transition into it. I think that's what they were kind of going for, but it's a little bit awkward when you have World 7 Rainbow Resort, and it just sort of breaks up the pace anyway. Woo! You always have a power for this section, so it's not like you have to use your slide kick for this.
So what's the point of the blocks in the first place?
To waste your time. However, you do need
running.
Yeah, that again took longer than it should, so I cut past that. But yeah, at this point in the game, we're getting to the point where almost every single level has a hidden switch in it, so you do have to look out for hidden goodies and stuff. That cannon's dead.
Well, it was never alive to start with.
Well, it can follow your movements, so I assume it's at least slightly sentient.
Either that, or it has a motion detector.
I don't think there's a... Well, actually, there's spaceships and flying batteries and whatever, so I guess there is technology in the Kirby universe. But
Really? We're talking about the cannons in front of Kirby's face, and you're going to argue that there's... You were even thinking of arguing that there's no technology.
This song was added to the remake as well.
King Dedede's theme.
Oh, this is the boss rush.
Yep.
Yeah, this is the boss rush. This is actually one of my more preferred Dedede themes when it comes to the actual games itself. Some of them, the King Dedede's themes just sort of bland, but this one pops to me for some reason. Like here, this part of the song has a higher pitch than a lot of the other arrangements, which I really like it when they do that because it emphasizes that part of the theme.
Well, not only that, but this is also using the completed King Dedede's version
fucker.
of the song. In the original adventure, it was just the beginning part of the song, and then just
So
loops.
long, Undie Boss. And if you got that reference, you're a dork.
They completed Dedede's theme in Superstar, so every game after that thankfully has had the full theme. And I love the second verse, so I'm glad that they I'm glad that they added.
Although I
to
didn't truly appreciate it until Brawl.
Same here. I love Brawl's mix.
Brawl's mix, this mix always comes to mind. Superstars is also great. Though I actually, a lot of people really like one of the remixes in Superstar Ultra of Masked Dedede. I actually don't really like that version a whole lot. Anyway, it's time to die. What? Killed by a dead boss.
Double KO. Double
You've learned
KO.
a valuable lesson, Ted. Never strike an elephant in the cranium with a hammer.
What? Its corpse will kill me?
I was about to say that was an epic way to finish the boss, but no, you went and died in the process.
I got killed by its dead body! How does that even work?
Hey, more time to listen to King Dedede's theme.
That's true.
King Dedede.
I'm actually surprised they went and they added this track, so I'm surprised they didn't just put it in the Dedede fight. They use a different track for that.
Well, it makes sense in this game, but...
Well, it makes sense in this game, I guess, but in the original adventure, when you fight Dedede, they just use the boss theme, which is kind of bland.
I was gonna say that does the color of the enemy matter in terms of pattern?
Not
I would say
really.
The blue elephant was nowhere near as aggressive as the gray one that gave you shit in Orange Ocean.
I don't know. well, for one thing, the Kirby fan base isn't nearly as loud as some of the other ones, so I don't know if people have done this sort of research on it. But from what I can tell, other than maybe some slight health differences, most of the palette swaps act pretty similar. So, I couldn't really tell you. We finally get to see Backdrop get some use. Again, this is another one of those powers that you only can get from bosses, so you never see it a whole lot. And I discard it right away because it's kind of useless in a situation like this.
You're not going to backdrop any lines today.
You can't pick up bosses.
Oh.
You can pick up the stars and backdrop those, but at that point, what's
You might as well just use them as a projectile.
You get better accuracy that way. And this lion sucks. Seriously, it doesn't even touch me.
I don't think it's actually trying to kill you. I think it's just hopping up and down because it thinks you want to play with it.
Got me.
Oh.
No more Dedede's thing.
His anguish is getting worse and worse by the day.
There's actually a secret entrance to
In
the
the
boss tower. Well, not in the moon.
Oh, that's later.
There's a hidden door at the very beginning of the level. If you go through that, you have slightly harder boss fights, but you get a few one-ups at the end. I don't really think it's worth it because I've got plenty of lives. Woohoo! So anyway, yeah, now we've just got the rest of the level. I actually think Rainbow Resort is one of the shorter levels in the game. Like, I'm pretty sure Orange Ocean is the longest one, but I think this might actually have less or at least shorter levels than some of the other ones.
Gotta love that spam fire.
What's spam fire?
The way you just got through that last section, that's spam fire.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Whenever I hear the word spam fire, I just immediately imagine Toho or something. Where it's just like, bullets everywhere.
Fire all the bullets.
Dodge all the bullets? No.
Time to kill everything, including the hardest boss in existence.
Was there a Waddle Dee in there?
Yeah, there was.
Okay, well, yeah, it's dead.
Hardest boss in existence.
You get to play as him in Return to Dreamland.
And the game
Finally,
is broken
you can
because
feel
of
the-
that.
Finally, you can feel the power.
Why do all memes make the most pathetic creature in a video game some godly being of...
I think he's only got 2 frames of animation.
Because memes are unoriginal.
Well, actually, you're right. Well, not just. Well, I don't think. Yeah, I'm pretty. Well, it's not so much memes as the developers themselves most of the time. Like you'll usually see in a lot of games, developers will make a hidden boss, just like some sort of alternate form of the weakest mook in the game, and then it's super hard for some reason. Like
Or putting Model D into the battle tower.
Well, Waddle Dee's just pathetic as normal. That's just a joke. Well, wait, I thought is he the first one or the last one? I'm pretty sure
He
he's
was the first one.
Yeah,
I
so
love
in
the fact that he was
rooms
there at all.
repeat themselves.
No, we're going counterclockwise. We're going clockwise that time, and we're going counterclockwise this time. Totally different.
You died to a Flutter Dude.
I actually found out that those aren't their real names, though I can't remember what their real names are at this point.
Yes,
but-
sure, Ted. Deflect from your massive failure by arguing semantics.
Well, no, what I was going to say was, what happened there was I thought that my slide kick had a longer range than I really did, and I ended up getting hit because of it. No real excuse, just, well, a reason, but not an excuse.
For a second, I thought you were going to dive the bottom pit again there.
Oh, I didn't, thankfully.
I mean, even if it weren't for the fact that you can fly, so you shouldn't even need to go anywhere near the bottomless pits. The game actually gives you like a full second after you pass under the screen to start flying.
I think in this game, if your entire sprite has to be below the line in order for it to count, where in other games it needs to just touch the edge of the bottomless pit in order for it to count.
Yeah.
Kind of odd that you can stick your pinky toe into the bottomless pit and you'll completely die. But you can also have your pinky toe in other situations. You can have your pinky toe sticking out of the bottomless pit and you'll be just fine.
Castlevania.
No, there's a difference between Belmont and Kirby. Kirby can't live without his toe. A Belmont, I'm pretty sure, will just bite the bullet and continue on his journey.
Well, Kirby's toe is his entire foot, and it'd be kind of hard to walk without that.
You don't know
He
that.
can fly.
Yeah, but you can't suck things up without when you're flying. And if you can't suck things up, you can't eat. And if Kirby can't eat, well, then I'd imagine more genocide would reign.
Ugh, this fucking fly. Go away.
Where is that? Oh, real life.
Real life.
Giga
Oh my god, am I gonna die?
No.
To be honest, I don't really get nervous in Kirby games when I'm at 1 health, because I never really pay a whole lot of attention to the health bar. I always just sort of assume I'm invincible because the games are generally pretty easy.
Or it could be that big-ass number 21 at the bottom of the screen there.
I don't pay attention to that either, because like the health bar, I always assume I have enough lives to make it through. Which is probably the reason why I'm dying so much in this playthrough, overconfidence.
Yep.
Though I don't know why they gave you Wheel Kirby in an area where it's almost impossible to use them. Yes, but anyway, I spend a really long time trying to get that fuse cannon to work, and it just takes you to nothing important, so I decided to say fuck it.
Really?
It looked like it was going to shoot.
Into the
It looked like
ceiling.
it was going to shoot you to the ceiling.
Nothing important. Anyway, nostalgia rush in 3, 2, 1, go.
It would be funny as hell if it shot you to the ceiling, though. It's like it tempts the player, and you know what? They should totally put that in the next Kirby game. I don't care if it's the only cannon in the game. They should put it in a cannon, make it hard as fuck to start up, and then
Green Grades.
manages to shoot out of it, and when someone actually manages to shoot out of it, they should fucking collide with the ceiling and die.
Like that?
Convenient timing.
Yeah, exactly like that.
Anyway, Green Greens, one of my favorite Kirby songs.
Yeah, actually, Adventure had this throwback too, which I always found odd because I'm pretty sure Adventure wasn't released long after Dreamland.
It's like
The second game of Kirby ever made.
well,
And
this
it's already throwing nostalgia rushes at you.
The Green Greens is oddly gray.
It was based off the
is,
Game Boy game.
this is based off of the Game Boy game, which had no colors. So
I know. They should just call it the Gray Grays then.
Remember that game you played a year ago?
well, in that case, they had to call it a Green Green so you would know what color it's supposed to be. Though, yeah, I do like this throwback, even though it makes the last level in the game kind of easy, because, it's the first few levels of the last game.
Wait, is even the layout the same?
It's similar. I don't know if it's, like, block for block exact, but it's definitely reminiscent of the first game. Like, I remember a few of those things. Like, I remember that, Gordo in that line of blocks. I think they're similar rooms. I don't know if they're exactly the same, though, so... don't quote me on that.
There's no super spicy curry.
There's no super spicy curry.
Aw, damn.
Actually, they might be the same exact rooms, because all of these rooms look really familiar to me.
Ask the fans, they know.
Like, I think...
YouTube commentators, unite.
I can't remember... I think what they're doing is they're taking chunks of the level and then putting them together in a different order, I think is what happens. But anyway, just like Kirby's Dreamland, Secret Room in the Moon. You would only really know about that if you played Kirby's Dreamland, and even then you would only really know about that if you found the Secret Room in the Moon.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway...
the sad thing about me is I would have picked up that maximum tomato anyway.
Yeah, even though pressing the button gives you full health. What's the point of it being there?
Just in case.
What? There's nothing in that room that can cause damage.
You can never be too safe.